everyone, Ice King here, and I am back with Ross and AJ for episode 31 of the Frostcast. How are y'all guys?
No, doing great.
I'm tired.
You've been busy.
Yep.
Um, I want to say some quick channel news though, and this is a thank you to everybody who watches and listens, and mostly tunes into the stream and all that. We're close to 300 subscribers. We're at 299.
Wow.
I know, we're getting big
That's pretty
time.
big.
I think somebody in one of my streams said at 300 you can like start getting 500. 500 is when you can start getting like Twitch subs for YouTube.
Get a little tweet. You're gonna have to create the subscriber emojis or whatnot.
Yeah, I can just use my emojis from Twitch because I have like the little ice heart. I have a little heart that has
there you
ice on it.
go.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, if you're listening and know one person who would love to sub, I would love to hit 300. That'd be sweet.
Or if you know a sub.
Ooh. Ooh.
Large, big.
Maybe. What have you guys been up to in the past few weeks? We've been kind of dormant and silent on the YouTubes and all that stuff. Lots have happened.
Well, I'm a single dad now, so that's exciting.
Don't scare the people.
I did pick up Trolls and finished off Chimera. So Chimera's all built, and I'm probably gonna build the Trolls here over the weekend, probably, or Friday when we have that off.
Yeah, you sent me a text message. You're like, I think I went a little too crazy, and he sends me a picture of all the boxes for both armies that he just bought.
Oh man.
What?
He's just gonna hire you to do it.
No, I'm refusing. I'm refusing, and he never would again anyway.
I wouldn't, because like I want to at least play this army sometime in the next 2 years.
Yeah, before the next decade rolls.
Before Mark 5, yeah.
Yeah, I've been running around doing schemes and stuff, you know. I
Yeah.
had to let a buddy of mine live with me for about a week. Technically homeless, but only
wow.
technically. Yeah, it turns out North Carolina's like really expensive to live, and so it's hard to find a place that's not a bajillion dollars to live in a shed or whatnot.
Valid. Oh yeah. Have you been doing any of your Crix testing anymore?
Yeah, looking over. I mean, so I was supposed to play War Table with AJ, but just got real busy for a little bit. I'm a single cat dad. Might not be as cool as like the regular single dad life, but I do have 4 of those little guys running around, so kind of running a ranch. Yeah, well, the dog's easy.
Okay.
That dog's the best dog that's ever lived. But the cats, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure are planning a coup.
That sounds like cats.
Yeah, the signs are on the wall, you know.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Cats never love you. They love you because you give them food.
Yeah, it's all fun and game until you start waking up to like notes say like "get out." That's when it starts to get concerning.
Well, cool. I'm excited to see what we cook up for Crix, because Crix now has a release date that I think they'll stick to. And we can talk more about that later. But I bought a 3D printer. That was my big thing. I guess not the biggest thing I did is finish Orgoth. That's a huge W for me.
Hang on. Calm down. You're not done yet.
I have
not yet, huh?
I have the Garl gas
You're not
left.
done. You're not done. You're not done till you're done. All right.
You're not
But
done
like
until you're
the
done.
Garl gas came out like 2 months ago. I finished everything else from like the path.
Listen, you're not done till I say you're done.
Yeah. Now, the next words out of your mouth better be yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But leading into this Friday and every coming Friday from now on out, I'm going to be having painting streams on YouTube. This Friday we're working on the Garlgast. Other Fridays we'll probably still be working on the Garlgast for a little bit, and some terrain, because I printed with my 3D printer I mentioned earlier. I printed a whole table's worth of terrain already.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm super stoked for that. Once we finally move that table inside, AJ.
I know. Whenever you guys come over.
Yeah. We'll just do it when I drop off your Orgoth. How about that?
Okay. I'll have to clean up all these Legos.
Well, you got a couple months at least. You're fine, dude.
Actually, I gave him a date. Hang on. I gave him a date that is in July.
Listen, Not the first date you've given me. I'm just gonna
Well,
throw that out
so
there
the
for everybody.
reason it's going to be done, for more importantly, it's going to be painted for an event where it's being run locally. The Siege of Scarwall.
Yeah, that's
Steve
coming up.
Scarwall, what's that?
Oh, it's the local event put on by the Hampton Road Atlanteans and one of the members named Joe. The best Scorn player ever known to man, minus Acres.
True, I keep hearing this guy like he's a legend or something. Never even met the dude, but
Yeah, he's going to be on our team for Sussy Scuff, so enjoy.
massive.
Uh, no,
We take the wins where we find them.
no, Joe's a cool dude. It was kind of a community decision to be like, hey, we want to do something as a community. He was like, why don't we run the event? They ran it at Adepticon. So he reached out to, at the time, Privateer Press, got the rules, wrote it up for like a smaller scale and a single day event. And then on July 20th, I'll post the details and the link to the Facebook invite down below. It'll be run locally. Anybody who wants to show up, local or non-local, will have extra armies too. So for people to use, I'll bring my Dusk. I'll probably be playing Orgoth as an attacker because I have the Garlgast. It's like 75 points each player. It's gonna be like a 12-foot wide table that with the community's all 3D printed a wall and buildings and painted together. It's gonna be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah, you can come as a Crix player, which I think you'll end up being a
You think
defender.
they'll let me play new Crix?
Yeah. I mean, as long as
Oh, large.
Wait,
I don't.
why would the
I,
Crix be a defender? The Crix are clearly
I
allied with the Orgoth.
I think you may be a defender just because like we have a lot of Orgoth players.
That makes sense.
this flavor of Crix, this little sect, they just don't
Yeah,
get along. Makes sense, yeah, naturally.
naturally.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. That's up to Joe. I told him I can play attacker and defender. I'll play on both sides. I don't care. I'll play Dusk on one side, Orgoth on the other. Just play all day.
What are you, like a double agent? Like,
Hey,
even when I lose, I win.
yeah, my sneaky little vampire elves in there.
Oh shoot, I gotta be on whatever team you're on.
What if I'm
Those
on both
vampire elves
teams?
are dirty. Well, I want to be on vampire elves team.
Well, if
They've been
they don't let you play
disgusting.
New Crix, you can play Dusk if you want. I don't mind if you borrow them.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for sure.
Yeah. Hang on one second. Taking my hoodie off. It's warm. All right. But yeah, it kind of wraps up what events are coming up and all that stuff. But we can kind of get to the big news that happens in our little quietness. PP was bought by SFG, otherwise known as Steamforge Games. Ross, were you tracking that at all?
No, but luckily the Google is tracking that, so I'm diving into a little research so that I don't sound uninformed, or at least no more uninformed than I normally am.
Yeah. So what? This happened, I want to say like 3 weeks ago now, right? Sound about right?
Something like that. Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh yeah, super recent.
Yeah, it happened 3 weeks ago. I woke up because I was in Guam at the time. I woke up at like 4 a.m. and everyone back home was like, PP sold out. You messaged me, PP sold. What happened? SFG's owning War Machine. They didn't buy Monpok. RIP Monpok forever.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that right now.
But yeah, I woke up to like mass hysteria on the day they like announced it. I was like, what's happening? I caught up and yeah, so Steam 4 Game is now our new owners of War Machine. What are you guys?
Looks like
Yeah, Ross, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, so looking at the Steamforge website, looks like primarily before this, a lot of their IP is just like popular video games. I have not played any of their board games or anything like that. I mean, the models look good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the implications of this are. If they kept writers on, like I feel like that makes it
I think they
a
kept.
little bit more stable.
I think they kept the core rules team. They kept. It sounds like they kept like half the main sculptors for the models for War Machine. And AJ, you can correct me where I'm wrong there.
I wasn't paying attention to the sculptors, but
And-
most of the R&D team is still there. The ones that are public are still there.
I
We don't
don't.
know like the behind the scenes people.
I think the biggest. And people. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I don't think Doug's there anymore.
Last I heard, Doug was not there,
Yeah. So I
but
think
things might have changed.
it's true. That's like the biggest like sculptor that I remember. It's like not
And
being in there.
it doesn't mean that he won't be like freelanced in the future, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%. This was just like initial like cut over. Here's who's there, who's not.
I don't think there's going to be too much. To me, that sounds like there won't be too much of a change, at least not in the short term, or at least I would not believe there would be too much of a change that we would see for now. But
Yeah, I think short term we're really not going to see anything change because like Privateer Press already had stuff like lined up and ready, albeit maybe not in the best time frame, but like Crix was on its way. Gravediggers was announced and like all that stuff was already lined up. Steamforge just kind of took with that and then they announced their new schedule and they're like, "Hey, this is when this is coming out." So like I think the first thing we're gonna see from them, it's gonna be kind of neat, and I hope it's good, is that in December I want to say they're doing the 2-player battle box, which will be, I don't know the full contents of it yet, but it's gonna be at least a caster and a jack for Kodor and Signar. Kane is back, and his character jack is back too, Ace 2. And then they announced the Kodor caster was a female, not a male like people thought, and my guess is that's Butcher's daughter coming back to beat her dad up.
Or join her dad after she infiltrates Kador and realizes that Kador's just terrible.
That's Well, apparently you said they're gonna get buffed, so.
Oh yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's my little harebrained theory that I saw somebody online say, and I'm like, that's what I'm sticking to. I will say initial knee-jerk reactions for me was like, I was very hesitant on that. I was like, is this gonna be good? It's gonna be bad?
yeah, I think it's something we're just going to have to play out, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
we won't know till we know.
Yeah, that's 3 weeks ago. As past few weeks, we've had things come out. They've announced they've put stuff on their store. There have been changes to like SKU line and product lineup, and like I will let AJ take primary on that one, on his thoughts for like the product lineup and the changes made before I jump into it. But that's probably been like the biggest like I don't
So
know.
I think it's gonna be. I think we can predict that it's gonna be at least good for the short term, because they're not making a lot of changes to the gameplay itself, right? So they've already said they like where the design space is. They're not going to change anything for a while. So for the short term, I think we're relatively safe in that aspect. Long term, to be determined, right? Like we'll start seeing, like, if they start changing up playtesting groups or start like gearing playtesting towards another thing. They already said they weren't going to do CID again, so we know that the playtesting is not going to be necessarily public. So I think for the rest of this year, we can safely say that it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Um, when you talk about the new stuff, that um, I don't know. So it's good and bad, right? It's probably better for new players in that sense, where it's a little bit cheaper, not a lot cheaper. Like the starter armies are still like 160 retail, so you're still, just above that 150 price mark, but below the 200 where Privateer Press was. But you are getting less now, so that's a bit different.
Yeah.
Um, and you are getting like in theory an extra an extra like set of heads or arms or whatever you want to consider that in the starter pack now, but you are getting -1 Jack or Beast. So, you know,
And it's not to be rude, but no magnets now too. That's also kind of
so the magnets don't necessarily bother me because I get where they're coming from. It's hard to ship them internationally, or, even when Privateer Press was including magnets were getting all lost and
yeah.
all shifty.
I was literally gonna be my next step. Is like next statement was like my locals didn't, because they ordered through a distributor, not directly through privateer. They didn't get shipped magnets, and they had to like reorder them from the distributor to get them to me. And like it's definitely a good smart move to remove the magnets. I think.
I think so, and it removes
A
some
headache.
workload.
Yeah.
And after coming off of, now I'm project management certified, I can see where that eliminates some of the resources that
Well,
can
yeah.
be
Look at you. Look
shifted
at
towards
you.
somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
But go ahead.
magnets are pretty cheap too, right? Like if
Yeah.
you
Right.
pop on
Yeah.
Amazon, they're not too bad. You get them in 2-day shipping. That's what I've never. I mean, I've magnetized a lot of armies, but I typically just end up doing my own magnets.
Yeah, it was very
So
nice, and it's also I'm glad they're gonna. It's very nice to have that option included. I think it was nice when it first came out. They're like, "Oh, we can do this so easily," but now they're like, "Oh, you can still do this. Just like go to Amazon and buy your magnets for."
well, now I will say this, right? Does that mean they will move away from engineering models so that magnets are easy? Right? That's a question because when you look at it, like some of these models are can be difficult to magnetize if they're not designed in a way to be magnetized.
For
Like
sure.
not including the magnets is one thing, but if the design ends up changing where now it's harder to magnetize, I could foresee that being like a bigger issue, if that
And
makes sense.
if they did go that way, I don't think we'd notice it until like um, next year spring
Yep.
when we
No,
see
it'd be a
model.
new army once
Yeah,
the new stuff starts coming out, right? I'm sure the stuff that's designed right now is likely designed to be magnetized.
I would hope they wouldn't switch away from that because that's as simple as because they're gonna keep the frames and the way you can build your jacks your way. That's kind of like a core part of Mark IV jacks it seems and beasts. And all you have
Yeah,
to
get a
do
little
is
Burger
put
King action, you know?
yeah, make it your way. Customer's always
Yeah.
right. Um, all you have to do is just put the little insert for the 3 millimeter magnet, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else in production.
I mean, I'm not arguing that it's not
Yeah,
easy. It's a design choice like a lot of companies tend to make, right? Like you look at stuff like Games Workshop, right? A lot of their stuff is easily magnetizable, but a lot of it's not. And
yeah. A
so
lot
then
of
you
their
kind of have to
push fit
figure
like
out a way to do it.
weird hands, where like the back half of the hands one part and the front half of
Yep.
the hands the other.
Yeah. That's what I'm more worried about is like engineered non-magnetizable models.
Yeah, I don't know. Um,
Like I said, I think we're safe for the rest of the year.
yeah,
And then
Oh,
after
for
that,
sure.
yeah.
we enter uncharted
Um,
territory.
but going into the new, the kits you were the new, the way they broke them out, someone did the math, and it's cheaper for new players to get in, but it's more expensive if you wanted to go full FA. Or like if you wanted to get like multiples of things, it's more expensive to get like ready. And that's like the big difference with the boxes. Which I guess
I,
is fine because if you get a new player in, they're going to enjoy it enough to spend the extra $15 to get quote unquote tournament ready, and your tournament ready player is going to spend the money anyway. It just kind of sucks, but it's like I get it.
I mean, I don't mind that though because if you break it down, right? Like let's say you get into it. Like my first adventure into war games, tabletop wargaming, was a starter set that you get two armies with. So me and my buddy split an army, and then it allows you to play the game, figure out if you like it, right?
Mhm.
And if you do like it, then at another time you can make those purchases. So I think it, as long as it's not a crazy difference in the cost to get quote tournament ready, that you're going to purchase them over time and make it part of the fun, right? Building the model, painting the model. I don't think that's too terrible,
Yeah.
if
I,
that makes sense.
I don't think it was like a drastic amount that like your average consumer is going to be like is going to stop playing the game for. It was just kind of like, that's annoying kind of thing. I didn't do the math myself, so I don't know how much of a difference it is.
I didn't do the math at all, so
Yeah.
you're better than me.
Math is hard, so.
I did the math.
Oh, okay.
Oh word.
Tell me.
It's not great.
Oh.
Oh word.
Yeah. Well, it
Yikes.
depends, right? So, a couple of the starters you're getting like one less unit and one less beast. Some of them you're just getting one less beast, but it's if you go off retail to retail of buying like another like additional jack, you're basically back up to that 200 price point in some cases. So it's it's one of those things that it's just like that's just the way it is, I guess.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if it's at least similar, if not more expensive, right? If it goes to the point where it's more expensive, then I feel like I can be a little bit more frustrated with it. But even if it adds up to the exact cost, or like right at that cost, then it's not too different than what we have now. So, what's the people were comfortable getting the starter sets now? What's the difference, right?
Yeah. I feel like he's typing the math out right now.
Yeah, I was, but I don't have to.
Oh, you're good. Go for it.
Okay.
I'll talk about the other thing that's like kind of annoying in the way like about the not super annoying, but like yeah, we're being. Let me also preface all this. We're being nitpicky because like it's just the things that are out and like things that we've noticed. We're not being like total hating on Steamforge right now. It's just
No,
like
we just like
No.
to.
we're just noticing the differences. That's all.
I just like to complain. It's kind of my go-to, actually.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm hopeful for this. Um,
I
I
would
think
also. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
I just said I'm going to be hopeful for the future on this because I think if since they kept the War Machine design team, I think Mark IV's in a good spot. I know it had some growing pains, but I think it's really growing and really taking stride. And
Yeah.
hopefully these Steamforge games with their backing can take it into the future. Now my main concern is they're kind of like a Kickstarter company too, so and a crowdfunding, so that worries me, but we'll see. And also, where's Monpok?
Where is Monpok? Steamforge. Where's Monpok? That's gonna be the title of this. That's gonna be the title of the podcast. Where is Monpok?
I mean, probably what happened was because they had that licensing with Mythic that's all jacked up. They couldn't sell it, so
Yeah. And I
and
was
like Steamforge probably didn't want it.
they're lost. We'll buy it. I was gonna say like if I have to pay like on average like 20 more bucks or what is it? You said 75 dollars. That's kind of a lot of money. Um, but I would be okay with like a little bit more to get more players in on top of having like insured like easy releases worldwide. Like everyone gets what they need to on release date. The timelines stick to it. Like if we get more consistency for a little bit more money, I think that's also a benefit just to the game as a whole.
Oh, that's cute. Do you think timelines are gonna be stuck to now?
Apparently, like they were like mega backlogged. I heard this through the grapevine of rumor mills of like they were like super private, like they were super behind on orders, and they just reached out to all their printers that the connections they have and just filled a ton of orders super fast.
That's good. And keeping the design team, I still think is a major sign of like good, right? When you see takeovers or not takeovers, but like buyouts, whatever you want to call it, and then the design team gets gutted, and
That's when
salt in the
things get
steak
really
before you.
stuff.
Yeah, that is a red flag, right? This is not one of those cases. Keeping the design team is good, right? The keeping the sculptors is good,
Yeah,
and I think that brings a lot of hope rather than uh
it helps even out the worriness.
right. Yeah, I'm way less nervous about it because they kept some of that continuity on, right? That the project is where people like it, and I think we'll see that grow.
Yeah, and like War Machine had like its biggest year so far. Boca Bar had over 100 people in it, which is insane. If you compare that to like other miniature games that aren't GW for tournament show out, like that's a really good showing.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
And
And I mean, still cheaper than GW even with the price hikes. So
that's facts.
that's
And the
that's all
models
I'm
are
saying.
the models still look fantastic.
Yeah, still look great.
I'm gonna look up. I haven't looked up Games Workshop prices in a while. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
They're
don't. It's just gonna
don't.
scar
It's
you.
really bad. Um, yeah, like it's not good over
Better
there.
off with eBay on that one, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking retail to retail, see what it's like.
Yeah, what's a unit? What's 10 tactical marines?
Oh,
Oh, I think
I'm
it's $50 now.
Jesus.
For the
$50?
Primaris, Marines, I'm pretty
Oh yeah,
confident it's
because you
50
have, oh, what are the
bucks.
new Terminators? The ones that are 3
Oh,
millimeters taller?
don't even. Stop.
Like, there's new Terminators?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
With
you re-release the model, but instead of being scaled to like heroic, where the chest is just massive or whatever, they make them a little bit more in line with like real people, and then they're like brand new Marine, big dog, and they get +1 to shoot, +1 to hit. They're actually better, and for these we charge 75.
yeah, so the new Terminators that came out were like, I think they had a bigger base by like a couple of millimeters, and they were like 3 millimeters taller and roughly the same shape. in like
Here we go. 7 Plague Marines, because here's the problem with Plague Marines. Nurgle's number 7, right? So you only ever get 7 of those. You don't get 10 like every other box. $60.
Hmm.
7
Well.
Marines, $60.
and this is where we are reminded to be thankful
Oh,
for
here we
what we
go.
have.
5 Marines, $60.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, that's awful. That's depressing
Hey, look,
too.
you put it right back in. Now it's looking like them starter packs are looking really good right now. Really good right now.
Yeah. Do you know, AJ? This is kind of going to other Steam Forge games lore that I don't know. Do you know anything about Guild Ball?
I played Guild Ball once, but it was like really big, and I didn't follow it, but I know the rumors surrounding it, and it did not end well because I guess the community that played Guild Ball and Steamforge games disagreed,
Mm.
and now a lot of those people are playing Marvel, and that's where I've heard the rumor mill from. The people that play Marvel used to play Guild Ball.
Okay.
So it was definitely apparently a giant disagreement between the community and Steamforge Games itself, and then Steamforge Games said something along the lines of, "All right, we're discontinuing the game."
You
Oh.
But now
say
it's
that,
back.
but when you look at Steamforged games, I will say this, right? When you look at their Guild Ball, they do have like free STLs to get into the game.
I
The
was
Guild Ball
literally
starter set is free.
I was literally just about to bring that up, and I don't know if they've said anything concrete about like bringing that to War Machine, but like imagine you like can print like a very bare bones monopose like Jack and Caster just to see the models for free. Like it's like just something like
I mean, how often do you see companies like that ever release free STLs for a game, whether they discontinue it or not, right?
yeah. I think that was if they can bring that to War Machine or like hey the defenses for each army go print them. And like here's the files or pay like $5 for a
Yeah,
file.
just maybe a terrain or something like that, or like some Steamforged brand terrain.
Yeah.
Put the cog in there, put a little SFG in there. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Get a little brand recognition, give out some free terrain. That'd be a really dope thing to see.
Yeah, that was gonna be my follow up for Guild Ball. I was like, they do have free STLs that might come to us, especially with all of our other models being 3D printed anyway.
I mean, 3D printing's the revolutionizing wargaming.
Yeah, but yeah.
And now that we're on that subject, mm, do we think that they're going to continue with the 3D printing? Or are they going to do high injection plastic?
Did you read what they're doing for the battle box?
High injection plastic, right?
Yeah, so the battle box will be plastic. Um, the first thing they announced, like their big like, hey, we're SFG, this is our plans for War Machine. They said they want to do more plastic, but they're not getting rid of 3D printing right now. So
Hmm.
I just I don't want it to, I don't know what their plastic looks like. I don't want it to be. I don't want to build models. It's been
You
so
don't want to build
sweet.
So,
models? Okay.
well, like here's the thing, right? So, like if you look at it, if you're gonna print more than 500 pieces of something, injection molding starts to be more cost effective.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
So if we're looking at scaling, at some point it'll likely have to go to injection molding. Otherwise, like, what are you gonna do?
yeah. I also am totally okay with it because like that also reduces breaks. That reduces having to like put in for replacement parts. It like cuts their back end costs of like, oh, we forgot to ship an arm. No, it was on the sprue this time. There's no forgetting it.
Yeah, because then you just have the sprues.
Yeah,
You get one of this sprue, one of that sprue. It makes the box good to go.
yeah. Shipping's way easier, all that stuff. And like, I hope it's good quality plastic. That's what I want to know. Like, I want to see the models bare, unbuilt. What do they look like? What are like the mold lines? Because we have friggin' Marvel Crisis Protocol with the biggest gaps I've ever seen in a model ever.
They're pretty rough.
looking like some Forge World models. You know what I mean?
Dude.
They really do.
They're like that's what I'm afraid of with the plastic. That's my hesitant to switching to plastic because we don't have that problem with resin. I can put it with mold lines and like get a thicker
Well,
primer.
you can run into that with resin. It's way less of a materials issue as it is a quality control issue, right?
Yeah,
That's if you have good quality control, it doesn't matter because you're gonna catch those mistakes.
for sure. And I 100% agree. I just don't want giant mold lines. I have to gap fill every one of my models.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, who does? You know? Maybe there's some sculptors out here in these streets that are probably excited for stuff like that, but your boy ain't good at that.
It's not even like I'm good at that. It's like I just don't want to do it. It's like give me the
Yeah.
model, let it be like 95% perfect when I get it.
Yeah, you know, the best you're getting out of me is a fingerprinted green stuff cape where I can't get the fingerprints out of it. That's about it.
Aww. It's pretty good actually. It's a lot better than most people.
Yeah. I only get cut a couple times.
And half of them are on purpose.
Yeah, only half.
um, but I know you guys didn't have a chance to listen to it. The CIO or the CEO of Steamforge Games, I think I was correct. That's what they did an interview with TNT, and they were talking about competitive play. Like they like competitive play at 100 points, and I was like,
Yeah.
sweet, awesome, big win. And they're gonna do casual play, and they're gonna build like a second, not a steamroller packet, but like another packet for smaller games for new players. Another giant W.
Didn't they say they were gonna do a journeyman league too?
Yes, they did.
What does that mean for the layman like me?
So a journeyman league, to put it simply, is like everyone starts at week 1. You start with 30 points, and ideally it's like a new army. It's unpainted, and like week 1 you play like 2 games at 30 points, and you get points for playing, you get points for painting your models, stuff like that. And then you go to week 2, and it's like another week at 30, but you can change your list.
Oh, okay.
And then week 3 is 50 points. And so you add models that then you can paint those models during those weeks of 50, and you progress. And the idea is like you start with something you don't know, and at the end you're playing full competitive like 100-point games with a painted army.
Yeah, that you tested yourself
And
and
that
built
you
from the ground.
and you built on top of the 30, added to the 30 to make it 50, added to the 50 to make it 75, and so on all the way up.
I think that's good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, building that community of like the community events and all that stuff, which they seem very invested in. And I love to see that. They said they're bringing back coins, like faction coins.
Okay.
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of that.
I'm digging that.
Yeah, and
What do you mean faction coins?
oh, so back in what, Mark II?
It was in Mark II, yeah.
So Mark II days, like before Mark III and before Mark IV, they'd have coins for each faction that like you'd win at events, and it'd be like the Crix coin or the Cador coin or whatever. I have a Retribution coin.
Like no joke, challenge coins.
Like challenge coins for War Machine.
All right, that's cool as hell.
Yeah.
I would definitely put that on my mantle. All right, I can get down with that. Oh, snap, that looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rock that.
They also didn't say no, and that they're not going to make new dice. They didn't say yes, but they're like, don't count it out of the question for dice.
I mean, I'm not a dice guy, so that's gonna be more on you.
Yeah, I mean, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Functionally, I feel like it doesn't
Oh
really
yeah,
matter.
I
You
just
can go
love
to pretty
dice.
much
It's like
any
it's
store.
one of my tisms. But the coins are going to be dope for events.
I think so. I think that is going to be something super cool as a avid coin enjoyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love coins. I have a few.
Oh, make sure you get a coin while you're down there too. I don't know. Did you see the one I brought back from Vegas?
No, you didn't tell. You didn't show me.
Oh, I gotta bring that to you. It's on my desk.
Yeah, you
but
did.
Yeah, you get one while you're out there for sure. $10.
Well, maybe we'll do lunch tomorrow or something. I gotta go to work anyway, so we'll figure it out.
By the way, guys, they're talking about work coins, not War Machine coins, I should say that.
No, wait, it's all War Machine to us. You know what I mean? Every
Every
coin's a War Machine coin. We collected them.
um yeah, they said they're gonna be big on like community events, conventions, like fact that they're going to Gen Con already, which is this
That's
summer.
another green flag.
Yeah,
A
no,
huge green
I think
flag,
we
right?
have
Like,
more. I think we have some like awkward like I don't like $15 shipping kind of pains, like like
sure.
small stuff that's like kind of annoying, but like the big green flags are there, and like I'm
Yeah, this does not
yeah.
smell like a rug pull at all.
No, it doesn't sound like
So
Amazon
that's
bought
good.
it and made like the Rings of Power kind of thing.
Yeah, this isn't gonna be New World, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Um,
No
but
offense to any New World enjoyers.
yeah, not me. I was gonna say, and one thing I wanted to talk about earlier is like Steamforge Games has this really cool looking Elden Ring game, and I'm like, man, those look cool. I don't know if you saw that on their
I didn't
website.
see. I saw it, but I didn't get to see the
Let's
models.
see. Hang on.
How did you get the models to pull up? I tried to click it, but I didn't see it. I saw. I mean, they got Dark Souls games, right? So it looks like they have the IP for that kind of stuff.
It's because it's
So
a Kickstarter. I got you the link. This was earlier what AJ was saying about it being a Kickstarter. It's a Kickstarter. Oh, you can
yeah,
get.
no, I saw a lot of their stuff was like Kickstarter stuff.
I need to play Elden Ring.
Yeah, the DLC just came out.
I know. I just
It's
haven't played it.
really hard. Like
So is the whole game. I've
Elden
been
Ring
told.
is hard. Yeah, but the DLC makes Elden Ring look like Super Mario Brothers Adventures.
Okay, good to know.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a masochist.
I mean, I am. So like,
No, then you're gonna thoroughly enjoy it.
yeah.
Just like I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy painting in my 100% humidity 98-degree garage.
Don't.
I enjoy it.
Okay, I was like, you can come over and paint whenever you want, man. I literally have the perfect setup.
I know you do. You have an awesome setup.
Uh,
That's for sure.
AJ
Even
said
though it's
get.
in a closet.
It is in a closet.
Yeah, my room is.
I barely fit in that room when we were doing airbrush stuff last time. But I will say that my little jack looks good.
Yeah, the one that I did that showed you how to do like the pre-shading and stuff on.
Well, even the one that I did before that,
Oh, good.
the one that was like mostly painted when I came over,
Yeah.
I thought it looked good.
No, your stuff looks good. AJ saying to buy the. We're looking at the Elden Ring board game on Kickstarter.
It does look kind of cool.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a lot to paint. You get a ton of models.
That's a good old speed paint / slap chop waiting.
The classic Kickstarter game experience.
And they're
You get to
crushing it.
spend the first 100 models to paint.
3 million. Wow.
Right? I mean, Elden Ring's huge. Like Elden Ring.
Elden Ring is
I was gonna
pretty
say like
popular, you know? Like,
I guarantee a third of that sold just because of the title.
I mean, yeah, a lot of it looks like it's kind of like title based, right? But if they do a good job, because like the thing you see often with, hey, we're gonna get this cool IP and build a game off it, is whether or not the effort goes behind it, right? That's like the
Yeah.
big make or break to me. When you can take a popular IP and say, hey, I'm gonna make a game, do whatever with it, and then do that right by
Yeah.
the community, that's massive.
Oh, you know what? I'm
Well,
already
they've already
in.
done it. They've done it with like Dark Souls and Gears of
That's what
War already.
that's what I'm
so.
saying, right? Like that's awesome to see because you don't often see that.
Yeah, I'm already in on this. They have clear models. Clear
Clear
models.
models.
Yeah, if you go to late pledge and you scroll down to like
Late pledge.
so if you go to the top, you hit late pledge here, it'll kick you over, and you can scroll down. There's Spirit Ashes, which are clear models, and I love clear models because you can do some cool effects with clear things.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I have never found that clear models take paint that well though. But that's been my issue with clear models is sometimes it's hard to get them to take paint well.
Well, let me tell
Like
you.
even primer.
Well, you don't really prime them. Like you prime part of it, but like some of it.
Yeah,
Like,
I get the concepts.
Yeah.
You know? It's not a
it's
clear
'cause
model if you paint the whole thing.
Hey, here's the trick. You're using acrylic paint. You got to switch over to that lacquer game like me, buddy.
No, I'm just gonna move to lead based, I think. That'll hold.
Yeah, there you go.
That bad boy will hold.
That'll solve a lot of your problems.
I'll
too.
paint them with JB Weld. Watch me. So yeah, all in all, Steamforge Games, welcome. Excited to see what you come with.
Yeah, looking good so far.
Yeah. we have anything else that's any burning topics we want to chat about?
Company of Iron. I like that game.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They're one of the tentative names for the small 30-point games will be.
Oh, it's not gonna be actually Company of Iron. That's boo.
I don't know what Company of Iron is, so
It's the easiest way to describe it is it's Kill Team for
oh,
War Machine.
wouldn't that
There's
also
no
make sense for like a 30-point game and like a whole
yeah,
packet based off that?
and so basically you buy models individually instead of in squads. So you'll have like, like one Dusk Cavalry member, but I think 50 mm models are banned, so it's all 40 and less. So there's no like heavy beasts, heavy jacks. You're usually led by a solo, so you pick your solo and they're like your caster in a sense,
Hmm.
but they don't do caster things. And then when you like buy a unit of, let's say, Dreadguard archers, like each one costs X amount of points. So you'll bring like one archer and one like, you know, I don't know, whatever's in your army, but like, you'll bring like two Brine Blood Marauders and not like a whole unit of them. So
Unpopular opinion, I thoroughly enjoyed Kill Team. So I would be super down to play the War Machine flavor.
well, I
What
have two uh, companies of Iron. Just if we ever want to try to play around with that.
Yeah,
was
maybe we'll
Kill
do
Team
that
not well
sometime.
received?
It was a mixed receiving because you could like what AJ is kind of getting at, right? You could only use certain models where it's a vastly different game to 40k proper. It's very individual model based. The rules are because there's not that many models, you end up fighting like 8v8 models on the field.
Okay.
And so the rules are a lot more complex, but I thought the complexity was interesting and that the added stuff that could happen was kind of cool.
My
Okay.
friend said it was different enough to where it wasn't like a direct port from 40k, so it made it awkward going back and forth. So
Yes,
it's
typically you either liked Kill Team or you liked 40k proper.
yeah,
That makes sense.
because the
Okay.
rules are just different enough.
Like you'd have to check if models would fall off ledges on 3D terrain and stuff like that. If there wasn't railings, like that's the kind of rules that would get
Oh, it's much more like a
added to Kill
narrative
Team.
play almost.
Yes, yeah, it was really designed for narrative play, is what it kind of felt like in campaigns.
Yeah.
And regular 40k, you shoot a model, or it either dies or it doesn't.
Yeah. Or sometimes you get 2 turns.
Depending. Filthy Eldar players.
I was talking about Age of Sigmar. You can get a double turn.
Oh yeah, I never got into that one. I stick to War Machine nowadays.
as we should. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's almost like we play it.
Yeah, a little biased, I guess.
Yeah, maybe just.
I
A
say that
smidge.
with my like Taos, was it Storm Surge or whatever, sitting right behind me on my desk, but
It's just to remind you where you were
Yeah,
and
it's a
where you
look
never
back
want to go
mode of
again.
honestly,
where you came
it's
from.
I am proud of the paint. That was probably the best painting I did in high school, and it was super fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Exactly.
painting everything.
Exactly, and that's a good reminder of where you were, where you started, and now you're here in the present of War Machine.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to see. Like I love. I don't know about you guys. Not to derail us. Sorry about that. But the looking at models that were painted over the years and seeing the different skill.
Oh, dude.
I really like that.
I found, so I have like my old like Games Workshop like plastic flip case with their crappy foam in it. You know which ones I'm talking about with the crappy clips on the front?
Oh, I do
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I still have those. I like them. So you know what? Yeah.
They're not battle foam. That's all. Okay, they're not bad. But like I found my old one that was like a limited edition green one they did for like Christmas one year, and I opened it up and I said, "There's my first Space Marine," and I found it and I was like, "Oh my lord, the differences!" And then I found my
It's
first
funny to
Golden
see.
Demon entry.
You entered yours? I never entered any of mine.
Yeah, in 2008, I was a finalist in Golden Demon.
Oh, that's awesome. I in 2008 9 was putting about an eighth of an inch of paint on every model that I painted. Just basically dipping them in the pot and calling it good.
Yeah, no, I got my first set was Assault on Black Reach, so those were my first Space Marines ever painted, and then I painted all the Space Marines like crap, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn how to paint, and I painted the orcs really well, and that's what I entered into Golden Demon was my orc war boss.
I did Dark Vengeance. I was the Dark Angels. And I remember getting in trouble putting the models together because my buddy Michael got me into it. He bought the set for myself and my friend David as a Christmas present. Oh no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I got that backwards. David bought it for Michael and me, and Michael was Chaos Space Marines. I was Dark Angels, and I remember being in trouble in English class because instead of doing whatever we were doing that day, I had the Dark Vengeance box and super glue, all over my hands, gluing and cutting models out in class, and got yelled at, I think, a couple times.
That's a real hobbyist right there.
Hey, you gotta want it, you gotta want it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a good one. I never brought my models to school. I can't say I did. Did you do that, AJ?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Dude,
No.
we used to play whole Warhammer games on the floor in the band hall. We would take duct tape
Jesus.
and tape out a 4 foot by 6 foot square and use shoe boxes, band marching
Oh,
shoes, and like
porn
all other
machine.
sorts of
Love it.
crap. And that's what we used as terrain. That was my experience
Oh, I
growing up.
love it. Yeah, I remember the old soda can terrain. You put three of them together to make like a shipping container.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. I mean, we didn't even have that. It was just shoe boxes and actual shoes. Good times. I'd go
Yeah.
back. I'd do it again.
Yeah, I mean back then. Yeah, I'd go back.
No 3D printers. No, I mean, I love, not to say I don't love 3D printers now, but there's just something about that old school gaming that you just, now that 3D printers make it easy, you just don't see it as often.
Yeah, I will say like part of me missed building models, and then I built almost the majority of those Tomb Kings, and I was like, maybe I don't miss it as much as I thought.
I miss building terrain. That was always my favorite. Like just finding garbage and building terrain out of it. Because now it's like, not that you can't do that anymore. And there's plenty of people that do an amazing job doing
Yeah.
that on the internet, but I just find myself saying, I'll just find an STL. I'll just print it.
Yeah, and then like now that I have a fantastic PLA printer, you can be like, "Hey, print this for me, dummy." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking up a Bamboo Labs this summer for sure.
Heck yeah.
Probably post July.
Yeah. Their sale ends July 4th.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you just wait till Black Friday, it'll be the same price.
I was gonna say I haven't
And
been
then
paid yet, so
yeah, just wait till for like July 4th, like Black Friday. I'll print for you all summer. Literally, I've already done with my terrain, so I'm printing a Frostmourne.
oh nice. Yeah, I love printing just weird stuff. Like I've got a las pistol that's like full sized that you can hold
Nice.
in your hand. I just love to print weird stuff.
Yeah, I
What else
printed
do I
like
have?
4 fidget toys.
Oh, I print my D&D models. So I'll like make a dude on Hero Forge, and avid D&D guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Make my dude on Hero Forge and then scale it up to be like a statue, so that's almost 12 inches tall,
Heck yeah, that's
and
cool.
then print those and paint them.
Nice.
Printers are awesome.
Printers are awesome. Yeah. Kind of ends ends the podcast right there. We've been rambling. I don't think we have any more. Do we have anything more War Machine related?
Not at this time.
No, this time.
We need to get some games in though, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about what's the plan for our future content releases.
Well, let's get the table moved first.
That's what I
How
was gonna
about
say.
that?
Don't expect a
'Cause,
bad rep
you
for
like
a
to
while.
talk.
Don't expect for a bad rep for a while because we have to first paint all this terrain I printed. Because like I'm not playing. We're gonna make a bat rep good, but it's gonna be its terrain, so it's super easy to paint.
No shoe boxes this time, huh?
Yeah, no shoot. You know what? Maybe just for you.
Just one? Yeah, we
Uh,
can get like a to scale.
Actually, find me a STL of a shoebox. I'll print it.
Done.
But well, I gotta get the table moved to the new setup, get the new recording setup done, paint the table. But foreseeable future is a podcast a month. I don't think that's unterrible. I want to get a painting video for the Garlgast here soon. and then I'll have a recording of the Siege of Scarwall up on the channel of the day. It might not be edited, it might not be great, but it'll at least be like what happened that day. It might just be the whole 6-hour recording and watch it all. Who knows? I don't know what I'm in for yet when I record that. So
I think it's gonna be dope. I'm
yeah,
excited.
me too. I want to say thank you all for listening. I appreciate it. We all appreciate you. Um, be sure to like, share, subscribe, normal YouTube things, and we'll catch you all next time. See you later.
Bye.
Love you.